In this video, I'm going to show how to set up your Liquidfoot Plus to process presets and IA slots in real time with the Kemper, which essentially means that as you're changing through presets, the Liquidfoot is figuring out what stomp effects you're using or not using, what the preset name is, and automatically grabbing all of that information in real time so you don't have to program anything ahead. So as you change information or presets within the Kemper, it'll automatically show up in a live real-time state on the Liquidfoot. So I'm starting with a completely empty Liquidfoot Plus, brand new. Everything is set to defaults, and I'm going to show you how to do this manually real quick and then how to do it in a much faster way. So if we were to manually program, the first thing we'd need to do is set up our IA slots, and we can go ahead and select our first slot number. Let's start out with slot number 1, and we'll set it up for Kemper. We'll select Stomp A as the effect that we want in slot 1, and if we hit yes here, it'll automatically program our MIDI messages for that. And I can change this to slot number 1, KPA slot 1. Okay. So now, now I can keep doing this. So I can go to B, and I can go up and select Kemper and pick C. You can see it's very easy to program, very quick. So let's say we did that. And then I'd go ahead, and my Kemper happens to be on MIDI channel 2, and Kemper is the, in all capitals, is the reserved name, so it knows that there's a personality or a device that it can talk to. And for the guitar tuner, I would go ahead and select Kemper. For the tap tempo source, I would select Kemper. And for the preset name syncing, I would grab and select Kemper. Okay, those are the only changes you need to make to the global screen. On the presets, if we're doing everything in real time, then I would turn on Enable External Device Sync for all the IAs, and I would turn on External Sync for the preset name. Now, I don't want to just do that for one preset. As you can see, I just programmed. I want to do it for all the presets. So what I can now do in the new editor is just right-click and say yes. Right-click, say yes. And now all of my presets as I scroll are turned on. Now the other thing you can do, if you're only using a Kemper and nothing else programmed in, and you're going to do it the real-time sync way, then you can shut off your IA resends. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You don't have to. I'm just going to do that so to show you how this actually works in real time. Okay, so now as I scroll through all my presets, I've edited all of them real time. So I've programmed no IA states, I've shut off real-time sends, I've turned on my external syncing, and I have my default programming in here. Now that won't work because it's set up as MIDI channel 1 and I have Kemper on 2, so I'd actually have to change that to the Kemper channel. So if I was to manually program for real time, this is how you would do it. Now there's another way that's quite a bit faster, and that is to actually use the auto program wizard and then make the small modifications later. So if we go ahead and select Kemper, select channel 2, and I go ahead and again I'm just going to program just 10 for this example, and I'll go ahead and put the tuner tap tempo on channel 9. And just as the previous video, if we just select all of the commands to have it pre-program the IA slots for us, then we can let the editor do most of the work. So watch what happens here. So I'm going to go ahead and let it do a sync. Now I could have just grabbed one preset and it would have programmed the page for me. It would have programmed the settings. It would have programmed, as you'll see, it just programmed all of the IA slots for me. So I didn't even have to do that technically. However, on the presets, you'll notice that it actually created the right command programming. Now what I could have done, or what I could do now, is essentially check the external device sync and preset name and go ahead and just make sure that it's copied for all presets. Now you can see that during the auto programming it actually updated the names. Okay, and then when I get past that, and then because I've only loaded in 10, when I get to 11, it's now set to the default of the liquid foot, with the exception that I've updated these. And notice now the IA states are gone. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to actually save this now to the liquid foot. And essentially the liquid foot is now going to operate in real-time mode because I have those two external buttons turned on. So it's in effect going to ignore any of the preset programming that I have in for IA slots that are specific to the Kemper. If it's an IA slot that has nothing to do with Kemper, controlling something else, all of that still applies and it will work. In which case you would turn your IA syncs on and off based on the preset. Okay, so now what we're going to do is switch over. So we're done with the editor. Again, we've programmed the 3 sources for the Kemper device. We know that the MIDI channel that has the Kemper is set up with the reserved name of Kemper. We have our IA slots programmed, and we have a page programmed which also connects stomp A, B, C, D, and of course you can create your own layout. The auto program also set up tap tempo and tuner. So that's our default. So I'm going to switch over to the camera view. We'll look at the actual liquid foot itself as we're flipping through presets. From the Kemper, which is booting up right now. Oh, it's booted up, and it sees that we're connected. And in fact, we have the liquid foot set up for tempo, so you can see the tempo already coming in. And so we have the first handful of presets set up through the auto program, so it's going to appear as if the liquid foot has the presets built in, and then it's going to go into auto sync for presets, and I'll show you the difference. So now when I turned on the liquid foot, the Kemper was not fully booted, so you can see that the IA slots that we had programmed in were stomp A, B, C, D, X, and modulation, and so on. And of course you can arrange these in any way you see fit, or put multiple of them on one button and so on. And in the back we have MIDI in and out plugged into the Kemper MIDI in and out. So very simple setup just for this demo. Now it is synced up, and we know that they're talking because we see the tap tempo coming in. So what will happen is as soon as I switch presets, we're going to start pulling in live data right from the device itself. So what I'm going to do is, well, you can see as I'm scrolling, well, let's just pick one. So here I'm on preset number 5, and you can see that we're now on preset number 5, and you'll notice that there's a tremolo in slot A, there's a phase in slot B, which is bypassed right now, there's a distortion in slot C, and it's empty over here. Slot X has a phase, it's empty here, then there's a delay, and there's a reverb. And you'll notice that stomp A, B, C, and D are A is on, B is off, C is on, and D doesn't exist. And so when it grabbed it in, it gave us the name, so tremolo in slot A, phase, which is bypassed, B, distortion, which is on in C, and then D. This is a brand new unit, so I still have the LCD stuff on. But anyway, slot D is off, so you'll get the dash just to represent what you would see. So as I start changing, so we'll go to the liquid, you'll see that the name's now changed. So there's a compressor in A, there's a wah in B, there's nothing in C, and there's an EQ in D. And so you can see the compressor, the wah, nothing, EQ, and so on. And so I'll turn the compressor on, and you can see it went on, turn it off, and it goes off. So on, off, on, off. Okay, so I'm going to scroll to a preset. Let me just show you here. So if I do tap tempo, I'll look at the tap as I'm tapping it. Okay, you can see that it's acting live. And I put a tuner on this button as well. So you'll see that I held it down and went into tuner mode. And I don't have a guitar plugged into the Kemper, so it's just empty data. But anyway, the tuner comes on and off. So now we'll shut it off. So now I'm going to scroll up, and you'll see that it just says preset 16 through preset 18, which will be down here, 16 through 18. And so I did not program the liquid foot through the auto program to go this high. I think we stopped at 10 for the demo. So when I select preset 16, it goes live. You'll notice that the entire screen changed, and it still gave us the name, UWE here. And so if we look at the Kemper, it went to the preset, which it grabbed the name. Notice there are no effects, so all the stomps are off. So this is where we literally just set 2 flags for the preset. We turn the external sync on, and we turn the external preset name sync on. So by doing that, all we have to do is change presets. You can see it's grabbing the name, changing the name. Let's scroll up again, we'll find one that actually has some. Let's scroll down here. Trying to find one. Oh, there we go. So preset number 14. Preset 14 has a compressor in slot A wah in B, nothing in C, nothing in D, and a chorus. So here it is, compressor, wah, nothing, nothing, chorus. So you can see that it grabs it live. Now, if you disconnect as if nothing was plugged in, so I'm going to select the same preset, and you'll notice that it didn't get any data from the Kemper, so it defaulted and just told you what the original liquid foot data was, and it just left it there. Hasn't changed, so if I change presets just to clear the preset. So now I'm on preset 13, stomp A, B, C. Now if I plug in and reselect 13, so we grab, oh, I have don't allow same presets double press, so here we go. So I switched presets, came back to 13, and in the global settings you can go ahead and change your multi-press, as most of you know anyway, so it'll allow that. But this is a brand new system, so I didn't set the flag, forgot about that. Okay, and so the states went back to this particular preset. So that's the syncing function, very simple and straightforward. You can program it through the liquid foot itself, or it's fast obviously to do it right through the editor.